Nice to have your company on this edition of Racing to Win. I'm Brett Davis alongside of Tom Wood and Paul Lally, and between the three of us, we're going to dissect a big 10-race car coming up at Sha Tin on Sunday afternoon here in Hong Kong. And we've got a mixed bag, Tom, with some races on the turf and on the all-weather. We
certainly do, Brett. Hello, everybody, and some nice racing coming up through the course of Sunday afternoon after a big night at Happy Valley on Wednesday night. Race number 5 is the feature race on the program, the Whakei Cup, first leg of the 6 Up. And later on, there's some nice racing as well, particularly race number 9, the Class 2, which features Racing Fighter, who's been able to win his last 2.
Yep, it always comes up very early in the season, the Whakei Cup, and the Chinese Recreation Challenge Cup, our other feature, Paul. All the money, jackpot money's been won so far, so nothing about this weekend.
We can make some more, can't we?
Yeah.
So there's plenty of good betting opportunities, though, throughout the card. As Tom alluded to, there's some really good races and some really good betting races. I thought the last in particular is quite open as well. So looking forward to the races through the card. No odds on favourites at this stage, except for Dealmaker. He's the only one who there was a big bet on him early.
Yeah, there was. A large portion of money has gone on a Dealmaker, definitely in the early stages of betting. Breeze of Spring is the only withdrawal. This came out quite early with Monkey Jewellery, Joe Moreira, the replacement. He'll be an interesting runner too. He is a horse that's got some talent. Interested in Paul's report on him and Jenny from the paddock on race day. So that's update now with regards to the scratchings. 8 on the turf, C+3 for the rail position. And on the all-weather, there are 2 races, races 2 and also 8, both over the 1650. First is a Class 4, 1800 metres, and a smallish field here of just 8 runners. Kingsman, Amazing Agility, Crown Avenue, Gate 5 for Zach Purton. Family Leader, a winner at the back end of last season at the Valley, drawn 6 for Vincent Ho. And then we've got Cheerful Star, who's trialled quite okay going into this. Gorgeous again, has had the one run already, but finished last. Bullish Glory ran 9th in that same race behind Sunshine Warrior, and Full of Chances, lightweight and a reasonable gate. Cheerful Star, who has the tongue tie added for the first time, is and has been doing a lot of his work at Chun Fa. Now, the speed map, it's a small field, Tom, and it's a long run down the back stretch, so it doesn't look overly quick early.
No, it's not going to be, and I think anything could potentially happen here because this race is deprived of a natural leader, and that potentially sets it up for a horse like Gorgeous again with Joe Moreira, who did race handy a couple of runs ago but wasn't able to go on with it in the straight. Family Leader, he's had a trial coming into this. Crown Avenue's there. Kingsman, potentially. You'd be surprised if he got caught wide in this small field, but I think anything could potentially happen in the first.
Here is the aforementioned Kingsman. He's the one in the white saddlecloth. He's closest to us, and his track works good. He has won fresh before this horse. He has to carry the top weight here, but it's only 127 pounds. He moves fluently enough. Crown Avenue looks well placed in this. He's one of a couple of ratings higher points in this. Zach Purton's getting a feel from there, and he's got a nice draw, so he looks well placed. He is the current favourite as well, is Crown Avenue. And the other one we're going to have a look at here is Cheerful Star. His work's been pretty good recently. The tongue tie will go on him for the first time. That's him 3-2-6. So he goes nice enough there as well.
Yeah, well, there's every chance this could be a slight tactical battle. Let's hear from Vincent Ho firstly and find out his thoughts about the horse he's riding, Family Leader, a last start winner at the end of last season.
Vincent, Family Leader, steps out for the first time this season. On Sunday, you rode him in a recent trial. How's he come back from the break?
It feels good. At the trials, he felt really well. So hopefully what distance showed him as well. So hopefully he can win.
You won on him last time out. He did a couple of placings leading into that win. In that win, he had the blinkers on for the first time. Did that spark him up?
I think so, because he's a very lazy horse. But, you know, he never stopped. But if you stop on him, he will stop. But, you know, you just need to keep pushing him. But hopefully the blinkers did help, and he feel good with it. Yeah.
You've ridden him over 1,650, win over 1,800 metres, also raced over 2,200 metres. Is the 1,800 metres his pet distance, do you think?
You can run, 22 is fine for him as well. But, you know, at least 18, I think.
And he switches from Happy Valley to Sha Tin. Any concerns for you there?
Probably better, because longer straight. And, yeah, I think it's no problem for him.
It was his first campaign of racing last season. Casper gave him 12 starts and then did put the blinkers on, and they did the trick. But prior to that, he was suggesting he was getting better and better with racing.
I think he was, and he looks like one of those horses that needs sort of the whole length of the straight to wind up. As Vincent said, he can be a little bit lazy, and he just needs that time to be able to balance up and run on at the end.
Go higher this term, Paul, you think?
Yeah, I think so. Look, it was once he got up over the longer trip, he's got that real staying pedigree. That win was good back into last season. He beat Green Dispatch there, who, of course, came out and won on Wednesday night.
It's a fair point.
Yep.
Let's move on to the toppy, Kingsman Saddlecloth 1. He did run 6th in a recent trial. He's never won over the course and distance, but he has won once at Sha Tin, as opposed to twice at the Valley.
Yeah, and he has won fresh before this horse. 1,800 metres here for him. He's a hard horse to catch. He's a 3-time winner from his 41 starts. He does have to carry the big weight. He's got barrier 8, but there's only 8 in it, so he should probably go back from there. It'll be interesting to see how he does go. I don't know if the race will be totally run to suit him, so I did leave him out of it.
Yeah, the speed map said he was going to potentially get caught wide. I'd be surprised if he did. His last win came off 56 points, and here he's on a mark of 51.
Crown Avenue's won 3 on the all-weather. He has won a race at the Valley, never won at Sha Tin, but there's a placing from 8 starts.
Yeah, and he's quite well rated, this horse. Now, I thought this trial was very good. Interesting, Zach Purdon jumped the board as well. Some of his wins are off 58, 53. He's now down to a rating of 50. I think Dennis Shep's got him quite well primed for this race, so I think he's going to be hard to beat.
You would have probably been more confident on the dirt, though, would you, Tom?
Probably, yeah, with his form there at the moment. He's not done too much on the turf here. Interesting to note, this race only rated 51 down to 42, so there's not much of a spread.
No, and Cheerful Star has had 15 starts, just 1/4 so far. He has been an underachiever. Are there signs from him to suggest he can improve?
I thought this wasn't a bad barrier trial. You can see him being niggled along there on the fence. He ran on late. He seemed to travel well coming to the point of the turn. Once he got the split, he seemed to find the line okay, but 15 start maiden, he's hard to get excited about.
Yeah, he's got the tongue tie on for the first time, this horse, but look, I didn't find a spot for him. I want to see him do it on the track.
Yeah, well rated on what he arrived on, but a typical Northern Hemisphere, a lot of them do, as we know, take a long time to acclimatise, and he's certainly in that category. Who's on top, Paul?
I went with Crown Avenue. I think he's well placed in this race. He's one of higher ratings before, and he has won on the turf, so he's on top to beat Family Leader. He's quite progressive. He's only had the 12 starts. Gorgeous again is a really well-rated horse now. It'll be interesting to see the tactics from barrier 4 where they do end up. And amazing agility. He's had the benefit of a run already this season, and he should get a nice run just in behind. 3, 4, 6, 2.
On top for me is Gorgeous again. He has won off this mark before over 1,800 metres. Joe Moreira on board. If he sets up the tempo like the speed map suggests, gets away with some soft sectionals early sprints, the others might find it a little bit hard to catch him. So 6 on top to beat 4 Family Leader, 3 Crown Avenue and 1 Kingsman. 6, 4, 3, 1.
I'll stick with my bullish glory. 1,800, I think, looks perfect for him. That's the first on the card.